Welcome to the very first tutorial on CSS. In this tutorial, we'll go over the introduction to CSS, and it's taken by Tech Student. Right. So now, introduction to CSS. So prerequisite for taking this tutorial is HTML for beginners. Right. You need to be comfortable with writing HTML markups in order for you to take this tutorial. So if you are not comfortable with HTML, the good news is that I have a playlist where I clearly explain HTML practically. All right, so you can go on and click the link below and then have access to it. So now, what do we need for this series? Notepad or other code editor, right? So during the course of HTML, we used Notepad all through because it was clean, it was easily accessible, it was okay. But for this tutorial, I will be using VS Code, but you can use whichever code editors you find more appealing, right? So you might ask, why do I want to use VS Code? I'm using VS Code because it's appealing and it's user friendly. Okay, so now, what is CSS? CSS is an acronym for Cascading Style Language. Okay, CSS is a language we use to style a web page. This simply means that we use CSS to beautify our web page. Just writing HTML markup is boring and also makes the web page to be just white and black. So with CSS, we can beautify it, add colors and whatsoever we want. All right, so now CSS saves a lot of work. It controls the layout of multiple web pages all at once, which is great news, right? CSS is used to define styles for your web pages, including the design, layout and variations in display for different devices and screen sizes. Okay, so when we go on in this tutorial, we will get to a point where we discuss responsive web design, and we will see how we use CSS to do that. Right, so now CSS types, right? So CSS can be classified into three, right? This classification is based on the location of the CSS style, right? So now inline style is the very first one. This is located within the HTML opening tags, right? So if you have gone through my HTML tutorial, or if you are comfortable with HTML, you will know what the HTML opening tag is. So it's just like you're giving it an attribute, then you style it within that, right? So we have the internal styling. This is located within the head tags. That is nested within the head tag, right? So when you are doing inline styling, you should locate your style within the head tag, right? And when I say nested within, which means it is inside of the head tag. Okay, so now the last one is the external styles, right? This is located on a different file saved with a CSS extension. All right, so what this simply means is that you save your CSS on a different file, then you link it with your HTML file, and then it works. All right, so do not worry, this is not a theory class. We are going to go over there one after the other, possibly in the next video. All right, so thank you so much for being with me till now, and also I will be making up this video or this tutorial with VS Code and make it as easy and as simplified as I can. All right, so do not worry if you do not understand all the CSS properties and the rest. All right, it takes time and I understand. Just practice and practice and practice, then we'll get used to it. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.